Dober dan v Evropskem magazinu. V Bruslju so prvič podelili priznanje Znak evropske dediščine. Nagrada poudarja pomen spomenikov, kulturne krajine ter naravnih in arheoloških območij, ki simbolizirajo evropsko združevanje, ideale in zgodovino.
European heritage is something which connects us with the past. We recognize the present and it connects us with the future. It has a very special significance because this European heritage label relates to sites which have some importance and significance to the making of European history, about the European identity and the European integration. This label will be given to sites which are relevant either to events or to personalities or to movements, or even values which underpin the European integration.
Everything what has something to do with our past, which links even in the past one country to another or one region to another, it's a kind of European heritage. We have a lot of new media which could really be used also to make youngsters interested.
We have to start by instilling in the young people from very young age this cultural sensitivity. So we have the 4 sites. Gradually every year new sites will be added to that. So in 15 years' time we'll have a number of sites. And each one will be interconnected with other sites. So we'll have a network of links. Through these sites, people will have something tangible in order to understand and appreciate what the diversity is and how important it is for our citizens. For citizens, for Europe, and of course for the sites themselves.
Carnuntum is one of the most important archaeological sites in Middle Europe. It's an ancient Roman city. Carnuntum was the capital of the province of Upper Pannonia, and it hosted about 50,000 inhabitants. It was located at the crossroads of the main trade routes, the Amber Road leading from the Baltic Sea to the Adriatic Sea, and the Limes Street leading from west to the east of the empire. The ancient city of Carnuntum covered an area of some 10 square kilometers, and only 0.5% are excavated today. We have rebuilt 3 houses, a merchant's house, a splendid city mansion, and a Roman thermal bath. And the unique thing of Carnuntum, of the city quarter, is that all buildings are fully functioning. Carnuntum is also a place of culture. We host every year the Festival of Art Carnuntum, which is a festival of ancient Roman and Greek theatre that takes place in the Roman amphitheater of Carnuntum.
Our target is the Greek drama, the ancient Greek drama, who is one of the most important parts of European culture, and we are trying to make it with contemporary works on it. So we don't want to go back to the ancient Greeks, we go ahead with them. The Greek drama has so many things to tell us and to teach us, so that they are timeless. And we are very proud that we are in the heart of Europe to have a place to work with this. We should not forget again that the ancient drama and theater is one of the biggest inventions of European culture.
We could learn a lot from the Romans. Even if it's 2,000 years ago, it looks to us very actual, because the achievements of the Romans are very actual today. Talk about the freedom of movement of goods and persons, which is one of the core values of the European Union. Look at the Roman system of justice. It's the base for all modern justice systems. Or look at the Latin language, which is the basic of many European languages.
The Great Guildhall is one part of Estonian History Museum, and the Great Guildhall was commissioned on the Great Guild, the very important German Hanseatic merchants organization, and it was a very important trading organization through medieval times in Livonia.
The Great Guild members, they were like very powerful. They had also like family members in different European cities, in Lübeck, in Bruges, in London, and so on. And they were like trading especially with salt. It was one of the most important articles in the medieval times. They bought salt from Western Europe and brought it to Russia. And then they also were trading with corn, with wax, with furs, and so on and so forth.
Our house was renovated a couple of years ago, and we made a new exhibition here. The visitors can understand how the Estonian identity has developed and how it is connected to European identity general.
I really like the atmosphere in this old house. It puts Estonia on the map.
I think everything in here is interesting, but to me it was new that here is so many interactive games and screens.
It gives me a lot of inspiration for my studies.
As the Europeans don't know much about Estonia, it's really like important that we gain that kind of awards, because then it's possible to learn about this country, what's going on here, that it has been and it is still like part of Europe, and all the issues which are important for us. In Estonia, there is, one can say, there are most museums per person in Europe. So we are very like museum friendly. Now this new award gives us an opportunity also to be more linked with the Western European heritage sites and museums. And this is a great opportunity to widen this audience and to do some kind of different cooperation.
Ik ben directeur van het herinneringscentrum Kamp Westerbork al sinds 28 jaar. Er is een plek die een hele lange geschiedenis heeft. Het begin van dit kamp was een vluchtelingenkamp in 1939, toen uit vele Joden uit Duitsland, Oostenrijk, maar ook later andere Europese landen naar Nederland zijn gevlucht. De Joden zijn van hieruit, vanuit Westerbork, gedeporteerd naar Auschwitz, Sobibor, Mauthausen. Daar is duidelijk die connectie, eigenlijk tweeërlei, met Europa. Ook na de oorlog, als we spreken over de zuiveringen, vindt dat ook in Nederland plaats. En wordt kamp Westerbork gebruikt als een gevangenenkamp voor de collaborateurs. En nadien, dan heeft het te maken met de dekolonisaties, komen mensen uit de vroegere Nederlandse koloniën naar hier en worden later in de Nederlandse samenleving opgenomen. En dan hebben we weer te maken met het beleid ten aanzien van minderheden. Want jaarlijks komen er hier zo'n 30.000 kinderen in schoolgroepverband. En die worden begeleid op een verantwoorde wijze. Die krijgen ieder hun eigen programma in het museum hier, maar ook op de campsite. Dat is een manier om kennis te nemen van de geschiedenis van het kamp en te begrijpen wat de betekenis van die geschiedenis voor nu is. Dat is denk ik het belangrijkste wat wij moeten doen. Aan de ene kant de herinnering in leven houden van al die mensen die zijn vermoord. Maar aan de andere kant ook de overlevenden de ruimte geven van en hoe sta jij nu in het leven?
When I started testifying during the Munich, the Myanjuk-Sobibor trial, which started 4 years ago, I started to say the world did not learn anything. Look at Srebrenica, look at Rwanda, look what happens in jails in South America, whatever. In spite of this, I still give these lectures at school because I think that every testimony, every word I can tell them about their experience will help avoiding these kind of situations in the future.
Ik denk dat dat een heel belangrijk gegeven is, dat de Europese Unie hiermee aangeeft van dit zijn plekken die, hoe zwart ze ook zijn, maar ook een rol spelen in de geschiedenis van Europa. Sterker nog, eigenlijk een belangrijke basis zijn voor juist de Europese samenwerking.
The Peace Palace is the home to the International Court of Justice, which is an UN institution, and the Permanent Court of Arbitration. Next to that, there is a famous library of international law, and we also have an academy for students from all over the world. This is called the Hague Academy of International Law. The story started in 1899. That was the year that a large international peace conference was held at the initiative of Tsar Nicholas II, who felt that the money could better be spent on the economy than on the armies, and he wanted to have a conference about international disarmament. And that conference did not lead to an arrangement for disarmament, but it led to the view that conflicts could be settled by the use of the law and not by the armies. Carnegie was a highly interesting character who had moved from Scotland at the age of 13 to the United States. When he was 60 years of age, and he was the richest man, I think, of the US due to his steel activities, he decided that he didn't want no more business and he would become a philanthropist. He wanted to give his money away to good causes, and international peace and arbitration was one very high on the list. He decided in, I think, 1903 to make a budget available for building this monumental housing for the Permanent Court of Arbitration and for a library of international law. The two went together. And he gave $1.5 million at the time, which was good enough to build this whole place. And when the opening was a fact in 1913, he writes in his diary that this was the happiest day of his life. We felt that we should have a visitor center to explain the story of the Peace Palace, the story of the origin, but also the work of the institutions. And that is what we have been able to do in the last years, and we now have a beautiful visitor center that is an educational tool in itself. I think we're very proud to be awarded this European Heritage label, because heritage it is. And heritage means that you go back to your past, you go back to your roots. And the peace conference that I spoke about of 1899 was the European nations and a few around it. And I think even nowadays you can see that the whole concept of Europe is built on the idea of a peaceful coexistence of partners.
To je bil Evropski magazin. Bodite z nami tudi prihodnji teden.